Hello, hello, hello. Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically, sorry, I'm trying to get this camera set up, in Alaska. I know, it's like, Patricia, you should do this before you even start. But with the camera, or with the video, whatever it is, it doesn't allow you to do that, because if you want a landscape video, you have to turn your camera sideways, set it up on landscape, or start it on landscape, and then turn it. Go figure. Okay, we are going to make a card, and it's kind of an easel on a diagonal, or I don't know what you want to call it, but this is essentially the card that we're going to make. Now, it's not going to look exactly like this because we're going to do something different, but you'll see how we've used the plaid, two different sides. I think this is front and back, I think. And then a little prop up. You have to put something on the inside to prop it up and keep it standing up. But then when your recipient gets the card, they can put it up on their mantle or their desk, or, you know, wherever it is they want to put it. Okay, so that's the card that we are going to make. To do that, we've got to cut our paper, and we are going, we need to open this arm all the way up to get started on this. So we want the card to go, let me go up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. We want the card stock, the card base, to be this direction, the hot dog. Okay, if you're familiar with that. This is the hamburger, this is the hot dog. Okay, 8.5 by 11. So first, before we do that, we want to score it. So we're going to score at 5.5. That's half of the 11. Now, we don't want to use our paper cutter. We want to use the score blade. Okay, so we're going to score. Then, remember I said we want to extend the arm. We're going to go out to 6 3/4, just under 7, and score again. Then, turn it this way and go to 4 1/4, which is half of the 8.5 by, or the 8.5 side. Okay, and then of course we do want to use the cutter part. And when we pull it out, we have two cardstocks, card bases, if you will, for our card. So it's going to fold in half and then like this. So this is called, if you just left it like this, is kind of the book binding, if you will, card. And you would glue this in, and we're going to do that. And then this would be your card opening, okay? But we are not going to do that. We want our card to be able to sit up. And so to do that, we need, this is our card. Here are our two score lines, and we need to score from the bottom left to the top right. So we will pull back in our trimmer, and we want to top right, bottom left in the score track or cutting track. We do not want to have the the cutter line. We want the scoring blade, okay? Then, when we take that out, we can now fold on the diagonal. Now that works because this is a square, all right? And so we've got that mechanism. Now, let's go ahead and glue this bookbinding part together. And I want to put glue here. I do not want to put glue here because, let me move you back down, because I don't want any glue to get outside of that line. So, I'm going to glue this, okay, and hold it down for a few seconds till that glue catches, and throw your glue. All right, and now we've got that. Now we need to cut our base. So I'm going to pull out another piece of white and we're going to cut it. Okay, now the reason I'm cutting white is because my card base is white. On this one, I cut the gray because my card base is gray. So I need a 3.5 or 3 3/4, excuse me, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. All right, there we go. Hello. So here we go. And that now will go on here. So I've got 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I've got basically a 1/4 inch border. Okay, so you see that? This is going to go on here and here. I'm going to glue it only on this part because when I open this, I want that part to go up. If I glued the whole thing down, it would just open like a normal card. Okay, so I want to put glue again on this half, the corner to corner half. Okay, and then be sure I've got the glue on the right half. Match up the corner with the line, corner with the line. There we go. I like the green glue because it gives me that moment or so to move it. There we go. Hello. All right, now that is the basis for my card. I am going to now cut my, I don't think I've shown you this. I already started this video once. So it's like, what did I show you and what didn't I show you? All right, so I'm going to use the Timeless Plaid, and that's what this is. This is the one that I've chosen to use. There are some gorgeous, gorgeous plaids in here. Some of these, probably all of these, would make fantastic masculine cards. And here are the backs. Just gorgeous. All of those. I love them. Okay, probably one of my favorite DSPs that is not a scenery. I love the scenery ones. All right, for this, I am going to cut on the 4-inch. It doesn't matter because it's 6 by 6. So unless it's directional, it does not matter. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut off a 1 inch, and I can measure here on the right. So 1 inch. I want another 1 inch to go on the inside. And then I want 3.5 by 3.5. So 3.5, I'm going to have a little sliver there. And 3.5, I'm going to have another little sliver there. I could possibly do something with those. For right now, this is all I need. So now I'm going to put this, I can feel, I don't even know if you can see it, but my blade is getting just a little bit dull, and I can feel an edge, but all I have to do, yep, totally gone now, is use my bone folder to fold on that, or to run along that edge. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And put this on here. And as long as I've got an even border all the way around, I don't need to worry about it because it's going to come up with that base. Then I'm going, now I could put this here, but I really like a little bit of the opposite. And again, I can feel that edge. So I'm going to do that. And it coordinates just fine. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay. And again, I've got a little bit of movement time. There we go. I am going to go ahead. Now I do, when I open this, I do want to hold that down just a little bit. And I'm going to give it another score. And I'm going to put this on the inside. Again, I think I have just the tiniest little bit of raised edge. You know, most people are probably not even going to notice it, but I notice it, so I'm going to fix it. Okay, there we go. Now, if this were not white, let me put this in here and I'll show you. If this were not a white inside so that I can write on here, then I would probably want to put another color like, or a white piece like this, and then I put this on there, okay? So, there we go. The mechanism part of it is going well. Let's do our picture and or our focal point, and our focal point is going to be somewhere. Where did it go? Here is my scrap. I don't think this is big enough, and I want this. This comes out of, I have all of these on blocks ready to use. But this is the framed scenes. I love the little path through the woods, the tree house, the lighthouse, the cottage, and the bridge. We're going to do the bridge. These are the dies that come with it. I did do a, here it is. I was just going to do plain. I didn't even want to color it. I just wanted the path. And then I used this and colored the frame. And I love it, but it's too big for the 3.5 by 3.5 that we're using. So I am going to pull out my, where is my ink? Here it is. And again, this is Memento ink. I know I've told you this before, but I bought a white empty pad and then used the Memento ink to put the ink in here, and I just love the way this stamps. So, as a matter of fact, you know what I should do? Okay, so I'm going to get me some ink right here. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. But I'll do it another time. I was going to show you what it looks like to stamp with one and then stamp with the other, but I'll do it eventually. Then I'm going to color this. So to color it, I am going to use, let me put up my glue. I am going to use some blends. And so let me pull a whole bunch of these in, and I'll show you what I'm going to use. Let's see, that and that. And this, I think this is the dark crumb cake and the pecan pie. Okay, so I've got a few inks here, and I am going to start with the Granny Apple Green in light. Let me make sure. Yep. And well, let me put you down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm going to start with the brush end, and I'm just putting down some color. I am not trying to be very particular. I'm not even filling everything in. I'm just sort of putting in some color. Okay? I am not making a big to-do about it. I'm going to come over here and color this tree because it looks like basically it's the same type of tree maybe. And maybe I'll even come in here and color some of this grass. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to come in with my dark, and again on the brush end. And everywhere that the artists have put in these little lines for us, I'm going to color around, sort of, you know, again, not being really picky, just sort of putting down some color on those lines. And again here. Just putting down, and I'm just kind of dragging it. I'm not worried about whether it, okay, whoops. And then I think I'll put the branches in pecan pie. And I want light, I believe, not branches, the trunks. And I'm not even worrying about if it goes outside of those lines. It did badly there, but that's okay. I think that's a tree too. This is a trunk right there. All right. And I think we're good on that. Then I'm going to come in with the light crumb cake again on the brush tip. And I am going to color this entire bridge. Okay. I'm coloring with the side of the brush. And I'm doing the whole thing. I think I will do the rocks as well. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the dark crumb cake. And just very lightly, again, on the artist markers, lines that they put in there for us. I'm going to color in the, boy, I am really getting off the lines this time. But in the artist lines that they have given us. And I am not a good colorer, but I tell you, when I get done with a little piece like this, you would think I was, because it makes me look like I'm really good, even though I'm not. Okay, and then come in with the dark. And again, go right over all those places. Now this will fade just a little bit. It's not going to be quite as dark as it looks right now. Okay, try not to use the tip. You want to use the side. And then, you know, just a little bit. There we go. And, oh, we want our other tree, which is Old Olive. Yes, but I want light. Okay, so I'm going to do my other trees. This is Old Olive, isn't it? No, this is Granny Apple. Where did my Old Olive go? Oh, how silly. I was going, wait a minute, that looks like the same color. So I want my light Old Olive. Okay, and then my dark. And I'm not even going to do anything on the sky. Now I could, if I really wanted to take a little extra time and put some sky in there. But what I'm going to do is in this same set, let me put you back up. I'm going up again, so close your eyes if you don't want to. Okay. I need to go a little higher. Okay, right about there. All right, so this is in the framed scenes. These are the dies. I'm going to take the larger oval and I am going to cut this out. You'll notice I'm going to add just a little bit more of the light here. There we go. Okay. You'll notice it's not going to catch everything. Just the tiniest little bit goes outside that line, but I'm not worried about it. And so by the magic of TV, ta-da, we have our piece. Now, where did my card go? Here it is. We're going to put this on here. We are going to put it up on dimensionals. So the dimensionals are here somewhere. Here they go. So pull out, I think I want about 4 of them. There we go. And now I could put this down here so that I could put a sentiment up there. But since I really don't know if I want a sentiment up there, I'm going to put it a little bit down, but not too very far down. Okay, like that. Then for my inside, I need something to hold that up. I'm going to take the other oval, the smaller oval. See, it's not quite as big as that one. And I am going to stamp. I'll use that same card, or, scrap piece. And in this case, I think I've got boho blue. In my boho blue, I am going to stamp right there. Again, you don't want to push too hard. I wanted to tell you this. I had somebody come to a class one time, and she was grinding this down in there. You do not want to do that. It's tap, 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 okay, to get your ink. If you grind it down in and you look at it, then you see how I've got extra here on the edge. You're going to have extra all through all of that, and it's not going to stamp pretty. So it's tap, tap, tap. And I say that a lot, and you may have even heard me say it. It's just a gentle tap, 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 tap to get ink. And part of the reason I do tap, tap, tap is because I do here, 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 something like that in different spaces. All right, let me cut this. I'll be right back. And here we are. Okay, now we're ready to put this in here. Now, when I lift this up, if I just put it in there, whoops, see how it's not catching? If I just put it flat, it's not going to do anything to catch and keep that open. So what I need to do instead is put some dimensional, and as a matter of fact, all I'm going to do is put one dimensional. Be sure it's at the top, at the top, and then a little bit of glue at the bottom, okay, just to keep it going. Then I'm going to open this, see where I want it. I want it about right there. Well, it helps if you take off. I'm going, why isn't that sticking down? And put some glue back on there. There we go. Oh, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, and there we go. Make sure it's going straight up and down. And now it will hold. Now, what I could do is stamp across here, happy birthday, or thinking of you, or, whatever you want. And that's one of the things I kind of like about not putting sentiments in every single card. In this one, I did the same thing. Hoping your day is the best ever. By the way, that sentiment came from All Zipped Up. Okay, so All Zipped Up, hoping your day is the best ever. And since I do have it, you can use just about anything for that doorstop, if you will. All right, there we go. I hope you like that. I loved this card, and I have not made it in a while. I thought about it. I don't know. I saw something the other day, and what I like to do is I keep samples of fun folds, just the same as I do for card fronts. And I like to keep them so that I can go back later and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. It's so difficult. No, I'm kidding. But what can I do with this stamp set that I haven't done maybe in a while? Let's move this up so that you can see everything. Sorry, I should have told you I was moving you again. There we go. All right, there we go. So cute. I love it. All right, if you would, I would so appreciate the thumbs up. If you would share this video on your Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever you do, that would so help me out. And comments down below the video, especially on YouTube, are just amazing. It helps the algorithm notice me and see me and that people are interacting with the video, and that gets it shared even more. Thank you so much. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.